Friends, there is a special significance for Pune being the host city of the Golden Jubilee Conference of AMI, as it was in this very city that the first bacteriological research institute was established. In the late 19th century, the city of Pune was frequently attacked by plague epidemics, and it was the great freedom fighter and nationalist Gangadhar Tilak, popularly known as Lokmanya Tilak, who conceived the idea of initiating research on the plague bacillus. On the first appearance of plague in Pune, Gangadhar Tilak remained in the city, studied the situation, analyzed the possibilities, and took active part in fighting against the disease. He established the plague hospital and opened a free kitchen in the segregation camp. He studied the total epidemiology of plague, history of its outbreak in India, the symptoms seen and relevant citation in the Sushrut Samhita. He tried to understand other similar epidemics, the risk of vaccination, and the possible threats involved. He read articles and discussed publications in research journals like The Lancet and tried to check the process of vaccine production. His speeches and writings were loaded with a practical understanding of bacteriology. As a part of the inaugural function of this evening, we would now like to present to you a short film made specially for this occasion as a tribute to this great visionary. A short film.
Archana, take the dictation. I want to emphasize on 2 points. One, apathy in implementing Epidemic Disease Act 1897. And second, use of the vaccine without studying its efficacy and toxicity. So as to discuss this second point, actually I called Dr. Rao.
Who is Dr. Rao?
He is a microbiologist,
Microbiologist?
scientist. He has studied in United States of America. Genuinely good microbiologist. Supposed to be here by this time.
Good morning, sir. I hope I'm on time.
Absolutely. Very good morning, Dr. Rao. Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Coming directly to the point. I have called you here to discuss about plague. Have you read my articles about plague? Since I am not a microbiologist, I am keen to understand the science behind this disease. Can you elaborate on that, Dr. Rao?
Yes, Mr. Tilak. Plague is a contagious disease and it is prevalent in all parts of the world more than 100 years.
I know that. It has originated in England and it has spread all over the world through Hong Kong. I'm curious to know about one disease which has been referred by Vagbhat and Sushruta Samhita. The name of this disease is Agni Rohini. Symptoms of Agni Rohini and plague are very similar. The symptoms of Agni Rohini are caused due to vitiation of three doshas: Kapha, Vata, and Pitta. If the symptoms of Agni Rohini and plague are similar, then can we say that Agni Rohini and plague are the two names given to the same disease?
Wonderful, sir. This is a very wonderful observation. I am keen to know after how many days the patient die in Agni Rohini after he develops the symptoms.
As per Sushruta Samhita, the patient dies within 15 days.
In plague, the patient dies in a day. Sir, this bubonic plague is a mainly disease of rodent and flea. Infected rodent, if it is bitten by a flea and the same flea bites the person, then the person gets infected. Expansion of lymph nodes is the cause of the characteristics of bubo associated with the disease, hence it is called as bubonic plague. The infected person may die in 24 hours, but if he survives, then the body develops the resistance against this infection.
Now I can understand. Though the symptoms are same, Agni Rohini is not plague. The causative agents for Agni Rohini and plague must be different. Because in Agni Rohini, patient dies in 15 days, and in case of plague, patient dies in a day. I really appreciate the scientists for understanding this disease very properly and their efforts to develop the vaccine against this disease. But I got reservations.
Reservations?
Against the use of this vaccine for mass vaccination by British government, which in my opinion at this time is not foolproof, and for that matter I am against of British government.
Oh God. Now I understood why you are so harsh to Dr. Bhalchandra Bhopatkar, who is promoting and supporting government policies.
No, I am not against any person. I am against forceful implementation done by the British government. You cannot forcibly separate patients from their families. This inhuman behavior of this British government towards the natives is a violation of human rights. You tell me whether this government would have behaved in the same way in London? The answer is no. But this country is not their country. There should be proper public education about plague and for that matter any contagious disease. Dr. Rao, can you elaborate on vaccination?
Actually, I think Major Bannerman is the right person to talk about the vaccination because he is a microbiologist and working under the guidance of Dr. Hafkin.
Let's meet him.
I'm really honored, Mr. Tilak.
Please come to the point, sir.
Okay. Initially, I would appreciate efforts of Dr. Hafkins, Dr. Kitasato from Japan, and French microbiologist Alexander have discovered the bacterium. At present, I am working on bacterium and its toxins separately, its effects as well as side effects.
I specifically would like to know The status of development of the vaccine against plague.
The work is under developmental status. Even Dr. Bhopatkar.
It means the work is not complete. I'm here to question your stand, Mr. Bhalchandra Bhopatkar.
Yes, sir.
My major concern
Please go ahead.
is implementation of scientific findings. Even if this vaccine is not foolproof, harassment by government for the vaccination is incorrect.
No, I don't think so. The experiments are over now. We should implement the government policies as soon as possible.
Of course, I appreciate the information of inoculation you proclaim,
Thank you, sir.
but it is only one aspect. This government is unnecessarily creating panic in Pune, which was not witnessed in Mumbai 5 years ago, if you remember, Mr. Bhalachandra.
Of course. But one thing, after inoculation, there is no fear of plague to the patients.
If you would have studied it carefully, you would have understood it is not correct. This vaccine, unlike smallpox vaccine, is not foolproof. Don't you read facts and figures published in newspaper? 1.5% patients died though vaccinated, and only 0.7% patient died without vaccination. Not even half of the actual figure.
Then I can say it's sheer bad luck.
What do you mean by bad luck? Are you talking to me like a scientist, or am I talking with an astrologer? Mr. Bhopatkar, doctor should treat the patient for his illness. Illness cannot be tailor-made for the available medicine. Do you understand, Mr. Bhopatkar?
Yes, of course. But one thing you should admit, that after inoculations, many patients do not follow diet restrictions.
Do not talk illogical, Dr. Bhalchandra. Do we follow any diet restriction after smallpox vaccine? Dr. Bhalchandra, it's a high time for you to read a paper published by Dr. Hafkin, which has been published in June issue of Lancet. Dr. Hafkin himself admits that more experimentation is needed so as to make this vaccine foolproof.
But maybe effect of killed organisms used in the vaccines is preventive, while that of toxin is curative.
In the dictionary of science, Dr. Bhopatkar, you will never find words like maybe, possibly.
Relax, Mr. Tilak. You are stretching it too far. You seem to be an extremist.
When it comes to my people, my society, my nation, I can do anything for them. Mr. Bhopatkar, for that matter, you call me extremist, I don't bother. I could foresee this epidemic is not the last one. Down the line 100 years, the same type of situation may arise. The science should be seen with the utmost clarity, and findings should be respected on its face value. I, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, appeal my next generation to respect the science and use of scientific findings for the betterment of human life. Let my nation be a leader in the field of science.